Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Grandmother is chiming. Cuckoo just chimed, and my computer just told me it's 9 o'clock in a British voice. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol and how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Thank you for allowing me. I've got things in the background here. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday. And for those of you who've never been here before, I just kind of talk a little bit about the topic of the day, whatever that is. Then I turn my attention to comments and acknowledging people who show up. And that's what I do. So today's topic is, first of all, can everyone see and hear me? That's always a question. I cannot tell you how often. Oh, hello, Judy Porterfield. Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to the Bravocado. She's a member, so she gets a sticker. Hi from Michigan and hello from Ontario, Canada. And yes, we can see and hear you. Thank you, Scott. I always appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to jump in. Then I am going to get to the comments. So today's topic is pretty blunt. Are you quitting keto? Have you quit keto? Are you considering quitting? Have you quit and come back and then quit again? And if so, why? I am curious to hear the different reasons. Now, for those of you who don't know what the protocol is, as I learned it and as I have practiced it for now 8.5 years, keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. That's total carbs, not net carbs. Net carbs just means more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated and be patient, patient. And maybe patience or lack thereof is a reason some of us just throw in the towel, as it were. And by the way, you don't even need a food list. It's fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, and limited amounts of full-fat dairy if you can tolerate it. But you don't have to have dairy and you don't have to have vegetables. And FYI, you don't have to eat bacon. I've been told, I can't do this. I hate eggs. Don't eat eggs. Anyway, that's the protocol. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you've had enough. Eat slowly. That's a good way to get there. And be patient. I hear from a lot of people. Many people have had several at-bats at this. I did. I knew low carb worked for me since 1977. I was in college. I had put on, not the freshman 15, but over the course of a couple of years, I'd put on about 12 or 13 pounds, wanted to lose it, got the Atkins Diet Revolution book, did the induction thing for about 3 weeks, lost the weight, threw the book away. Then I didn't think about it again. I was a teenager and I was cute and I was young and I was, not metabolically cooked until my mid-20s. So from my mid-20s, with the pregnancy of and after the birth of our second child, we have 3 children, I just put on a lot of weight and I kept putting on weight. So from my mid-20s to my mid-50s, I was overweight, obese, morbidly obese. I gave up on losing weight. I tried all the stuff. And I did do low carb again in the early 2000s. And then I did what a lot of us do. I used life as an excuse to stop doing what was working for me. I had a upsetting medical diagnosis, and I've had several of those. And I use that, oh, this is great, but I'm so mad at this diagnosis. I'm going to eat a bagel. And I did, which led to mashed potatoes, which led to more mashed potatoes and more bagels and tortilla chips and tequila. And I still had cancer. It didn't fix a thing. So I've thrown in the towel before, more than once. This time, no, because I had given up on losing weight. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes, came across the white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman, my pal. Now he's my pal. And it was keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer. If it's not on page 4, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. He says eat when you're hungry. I say don't eat if you're not hungry. A little different. But some of us quit for individual reasons, but sometimes there is an overarching theme. like I'm not losing weight fast enough. Bad reason. Bad reason. Because just take the first part of the set. The first that I'm losing weight, but not fast enough. Okay, stop at the I'm losing weight piece and just cut off the last. For those of you who don't know, I've lost 115 and a half pounds from my heaviest. But since I started keto, the ketogenic protocol, which wasn't even called keto then, it was Dr. Westman called it no starch, no sugar. 97.4 pounds. I'm 5'1". That's a lot of weight on a small frame. The first year, I lost 47 pounds. That's on average less than a pound a week. I didn't care. I was thrilled. And 2 more years to lose the next 50 pounds. But it was great. So it's not a race to see who can lose the most, who can make it to the front of the magazines. Some of those stories are apocryphal, by the way. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Well, I stopped doing it because my male counterpart did it, and he lost weight in no time. Well, so did mine. My guy started, he really didn't have a weight problem. He put on a little bit of weight. He got to his ideal weight like between 8:30 p.m. and 7:30 a.m. the next day. That's the way it is often with men. So don't compare yourself to anybody. Certainly don't compare yourself with the male counterpart. Don't compare yourself with some YouTuber, including me, but particularly not if that YouTuber happens to be in their 20s and or is a bodybuilder and or never had a weight problem. A lot of people on YouTube are just cashing in on the products. Every week, I get offers to be an affiliate for some kind of food product. No, not going to do that. You don't have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at this. This is another reason people quit. I got all the stuff. I bought all the kits. I bought the meal plans. I've been only eating keto snacks. There's no such thing as a keto snack unless you're talking about maybe a few cubes of cheese. If it says keto on the box, it's not. That's it, right? It's like when certain people say, trust me, not to. It's just, there's the indication not to trust that person. They say, trust me. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to trust you. And I am not going to eat anything that says keto on the label. By the way, I'm asked every time, hashtag Casey's Pink Drink, tumbler full of ice, lots of diet tonic water, a splash of diet cranberry, and a squeeze of lime. When I'm talking a lot, it helps. It's tart, and it helps keep my mouth tart. Another reason people quit. Well, I just can't give up, then fill in the blanks. I tried it for a week, and I just can't give up. This is stinking thinking. This is telling ourselves what we can't do, when, of course, clearly we can. If someone said, okay, for me, it was tortilla chips. I told myself I couldn't go the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips. Well, for one thing, I haven't told myself I'm going the rest of my life without doing anything. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I have no indication. I have no reason to eat tortilla chips. There's zero nutritional value in them, and they don't serve me well. But I told myself that. And I couldn't go the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips until I stopped eating tortilla chips. And now they are a non-issue. But think of it this way. People say, I just can't give up fruit. I think it's good for me. Well, it might be good for you. For you, I cannot disagree if that is the case. But fruit is sugar. And sugar screws us around. Our insulation. Well, some of us are very well insulated. I was super well insulated. Our insulin response it's not about the blood glucose. It's about the insulin, y'all. That's what it is. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. But if we tell ourselves what we can't do, we probably won't. And think of this logically. If someone said, I'm going to write you a check for $100,000 for you to not eat whatever it is, tortilla chips, chocolate ice cream, pretzels, mashed potatoes, French fries, whatever it is, $100,000 for you to not eat that food for 6 months. Who would not take the $100,000? Because of course I can give up mashed potatoes or tortilla chips. I am stronger than a cookie. We have all been through things in life. If you are hearing my voice and you are of the age of majority, actually, you don't even have to be of the age of majority. If you're hearing my voice, you've been through some things in life and you've survived. I've been through things in my life and I've survived. And yet I would tell myself that I was powerless against deep dish pizza. No, not powerless. I'm powerful. Some people really just don't want to do it. And that's totally fine. Some people quit, says, not for me. I didn't like it. I would prefer, I don't mind being overweight. I'm okay with my medications. So I've got plenty of insulin. I'm going to keep on eating the way I want to eat. Well, that's not a great attitude, but there you go. That's why some people, the way some people think. Some people who have COPD and emphysema say, I've got an oxygen tank, so I'm just going to keep on smoking. It's really selfish, though. You're offloading your health responsibility to other people. Even if you think, well, it's my body. I'm going to do what I want. Ultimately, unless you die alone on a mountaintop with no medical intervention and nobody caring whether you live or die, it's not just you, right? It's not just me. If I decide I'm going to do this and I don't care and I'm going to take illogical risks and it's my decision. I'm the one who will suffer. No, my lovely mate will suffer. And hopefully somebody else would mind if I become very ill. I don't know. I know he would. Okay, so that's why some people quit. I'm just not going to do it. I don't like it. Don't quit, though, because you don't think it works, because it does. It's laying off the carbs. That's all there is to it. And it does work. Keto products are not laying off the carbs. They're chock full of carbs. Look at the label. If they're touting their net carbs on the front of the package, you have to look at the back of the package to see what the actual total carbs are per serving, and then look and see what a serving size is. Why do people quit? I think impatience is probably the biggest thing. Sometimes we quit because we kind of get lax and we say, well, I'm just going to have a little bit of something or other. It'll be okay. But then it kind of, carb creep. And then next thing you know, you've put back on 60 pounds. What? How did that happen? I didn't quit. I'm still doing keto. I'm just not being as strict. Well, then you're not. This is not a restrictive way of eating. But it is precise in that you need to lay off the carbs. You don't have to worry about grams of protein or grams of fat. There's no pie charts. There's no ratios. There's no time of day eating, time restricted. Eat when you're hungry. Don't eat if you're not hungry, no matter what the clock says. But why do we quit? Why do we stop doing something that we know is better for us? Because we're humans and we're idiots. I do things that I know are not in my best interest, and I don't do things that I know I should be doing. I'm human. I'm an idiot. But I work on it. I keep striving. It's a practice. Life is a practice. Keto is a practice, like yoga or meditation or Tai Chi. It's a practice. So I am going to Shameless Commerce Division. I actually didn't bring my things. You don't have to buy anything, and hopefully still showing below my videos are linked to my Teespring shop where you can get t-shirts and mugs and stickers. And this one is this one just is GKWC, Go Keto with Casey. It's kind of, what it is. This is for reference, this is a size small racerback, but I've got long sleeves and hoodies and, like I said, mugs and stickers. I'm stronger than a cookie. Food is not the boss of me. Just stuff. I do have a book. Now I'm going to bring this up. I've sold out of the spiral journals, but you can get this Perfect Bound at Amazon, and there's some quotes in it. One of the quotes I like is from Walt Disney. Shoot, I just dropped something. Where is it? Walt Disney, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. We all know this. And then there's another one, which I thought was appropriate. I actually read it last week as well. This is from Thomas Edison. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Now, a little harsh. I do not call someone who does not follow the ketogenic protocol or keep at it a failure. But I guess if you're Thomas Alva Edison, you're entitled to a little snootiness. And maybe everyone else to him looked like a failure because Thomas Edison. But this is true. We're so close, and then we give up. Some people, all they need to do is make it through one weekend. I'm fine Monday through Thursday, and then Friday comes, and I just can't make it through the weekend. But of course we can. We need to figure out some tools and practices that help us do that, and then think how great you're going to feel on Monday. Oh my gosh, I made it through the weekend. And then you're not starting over. Like Sisyphus, who had to push the boulder up the hill every day, and would get near the top and then would stumble, and the boulder would come rolling back down quickly, and you start pushing it up again. Don't be Sisyphus. Oh, so this journal, I'll even tell you about it. It's a habit tracker. You can see it. You can see some of the stuff at my blog. At my blog, you can see a description and a link to the Amazon. Okay, enough about that. I want to thank patrons, some of whom are here, including Judy Porterfield. And I have a private support group at patreon.com, where for $5 a month, you get 20 pre-recorded video snippets of me every weekday morning. Most of the time, the topics are suggested by patrons. Going up from there, pledge levels, you get a handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast. Going up from there, a handful of patron-only video group sessions, one of which I'm having at 10 a.m. So be there or be square if you're a patron. And going up from there, monthly one-on-ones with me, and then some other little things. Thank you to patrons. Shameless Commerce Division talk over. Now let's talk to patrons or to attendees. Okay, I just jump in. P. Glasgow, morning, please. I love all the comments. Thank you guys. P, please advise, this is my third week on keto. However, my doctor seems to think that carb restriction has excited my sciatica. It's weird the nerve didn't flare until I increased greens. Until you increased greens? Greens, vegetables are carbs. Now, there's fat, protein, and carbohydrate in everything humans consume other than table sugar and lard. Table sugar, no fat, lard, no sugar. But vegetables are mostly carbohydrate. So listen, as far as our liver is concerned, whether we're eating greens or a Snickers bar, it comes out of our liver as simple sugar, glucose. So yeah. And if you have a glucose response, you have an insulin response. Insulin is inflammatory. When everything's in balance, then insulin's doing its job. It's no big deal. But it is inflammatory. So that makes sense. So lay off the greens. There is no minimum requirement for vegetables. There is no minimum requirement for leafy greens, no matter what anybody says. It's actually capping out about 1 cup maximum of non-starchy vegetables before cooking. That's not much, about the size of your fist. And maximum 2 cups of leafy greens a day. But you don't have to have them at all. I go for days without a vegetable, not because I shun vegetables. I like vegetables. But I'm consuming less fuel because I require less fuel because I'm smaller, I am older, my stage of life. So I'm going to default to eating fatty sources of protein first because that's where the amino acids, we don't have to consume carbohydrate at all. The minimum grams of carbohydrate required to sustain human life is 0. Good morning from Rapid City, South Dakota, writes Dawn. Margaret Gannon, good morning from southeastern North Carolina. By the way, there's a link below to the information and registration page for the Go Keto with Casey Roadshow, October 8th and 9th in Greensboro. I'm really looking forward to this. This is the attendees are the stars. We are going to have a clothing exchange. We're going to have before and after stories. We're going to have just a bull session of sitting around talking. There are things to do at this complex where it's going to be. Lots of things to do. And the attendees are the stars. We are allowing some of my smart friends to attend as well. Jackie Eberstein, Eric Westman, Amy Berger. They're going to be there. Just you'll be able to sit around and talk to them and ask their questions. It's not presentation and sit in awe. They're just people, folks. They're just people like us. Except many of us are actually implementing this. Jackie Eberstein, for someone who says it's not sustainable, Jackie Eberstein, she used to run the Atkins Institute, the Atkins Center for and with Robert Atkins. She's been doing this since 1974. Low carb. Okay. Betty Cooper, super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Casey, for your no nonsense encouraging words. Thank you. And it's Casey with a C, not Casey with a K. But thank you. A lot of people do that. Leah at home. Good morning from upstate New York. Thanks, Casey, for always helping me keep this simple when I start complicating it. Please know that there are people who are intentionally trying to make it sound complicated or be complicated. Why? Because then they can sell you something to make it simple. Sorry. A lot of people are just trying to capitalize. And when the next thing comes along, when it's, when it's the krill diet, then they'll be touting krill. For those of you who don't know, krill is, we can't see them, but whales eat them. Barbara Chan writes, keto is working too well for me. I need to gain back some weight. Any advice on what carbs to add back? I wouldn't add carbs back, but you may if you wish. This is if you do not want to lose any more body fat. This is when you would add small amounts of added dietary fat. Keep in mind that the ketogenic protocol is not a weight loss protocol. It's a fat burning protocol. You start burning fat for fuel instead of glucose. So if you've burned all the body fat you want, it's not just about weight. Make sure you're staying strong. I exercise because I want to be strong, not because I'm trying to lose weight. Exercise is ineffective for losing body fat, but I want to be strong. I want to have a strong core. I'm pretty tickled with myself, to tell you the truth. So building muscle is a good thing to do. Don't go just by what the scale says. But if you're fit and strong and you don't want to lose any more body fat, this is when you start looking to added dietary fat, but not a whole bunch. A couple of fat bombs can do it. A little bit extra butter. Just be careful with that. Andrea L. Some people have an inflammatory response to greens. Try cutting them out. It really helped me. Yeah, it's sugar. Inflammatory response to sugar, to glucose, to carbs. Plus it depends on the greens you're eating, but any advice for leg cramps, writes Kimberly Reed. This is an ongoing thing. Yes, I take 3 MAG 64 tablets every morning. If you're at my blog and you go to my favorite things, I buy the 5-pack at Amazon and I take them, and that manages mine. Some people believe strongly in pickle juice, yellow mustard. Some people added sodium. Because the leg cramps can come because of magnesium deficiency, because the magnesium might have gone out of the system with the sodium when you start flushing a lot of water. And sodium is an electrolyte, and I don't take extra electrolytes. They're all the rage now. They're very easy to market and package and sell at a ginormous markup. So just a little bit of added salt. But try that. Noodle around and find out what works with you. Andrea L. writes, if I can't buy the item at the parameter of the store, I do not buy it. Also, if the, quote, food has an ingredient list, I find it best to not eat it, right? Here's the ingredient list of what I will be eating after my group session with my patrons this morning. The food list, the ingredients will be egg and another egg and another egg. By the way, see all the eggs? We got 35 eggs yesterday from our chickens. You might be able to hear them squawking. And bacon. The bacon has pork and some additives, but I don't fret too much about that. Yeah, the perimeter. If it has shelf stability, it's got stabilizers, which are starches. Okay, Kathy Barnotes writes, I drink pickle juice before I go to bed. An ounce or two, that's all, and it helps with my leg cramps. A lot of people swear by pickle juice. Martian writes, thank you for all you do. Off topic, but what is your necklace you wear? Is it a Sacred Heart medal? Thank you. I get a lot of questions about this. I've had strangers standing online. Stepan, may I ask you? This is, my husband brought me this from Colombia, South America. He's from Colombia. Probably, 25 or 30 years ago. It is a symbol from the Chibcha tribe, which was the pre-Columbian tribe in Colombia, in the mountains of Colombia. Pre-Columbian, pre-Christopher Columbus, pre-European stuff. And you can't see it, but it's pretty cool and has a little emerald up here at the top. Okay, Vicki Dismore, I see KC on your shirt and I can see where it might confuse us. Thanks for all your help. Yes, that's fine. By the way, there's another Casey out there who does sell products and she calls herself, I won't call the name because I don't want to put any attention to it. She's not me. She's not me. And I believe she's shamelessly trying to glom on to this. I don't sell exogenous ketones. You don't need them. Exogenous means drinking ketones. You want to burn body fat. Make your own. Vita Hammer. Good morning, Casey. I'm starting over again. Thank you for still being here. I found such inspiration from you. Thank you and good luck. And yeah, some of us need a little bit more attempts. Martian writes, for leg cramps, try avocados if you like them. They are high in potassium and it helps. Did you know that gram for gram, there's more potassium in avocado than there is in banana? And banana, of course, is sugary. Judy Porterfield writes, cutting greens helped me too. I do use pickle juice and Redmond's real salt for leg cramps. Judy Tucker writes, hey, Judy. Now, here's somebody who Judy entered with some challenges. Even though she's in cattle country and is a farmer and has cattle and was raised on a farm, she tried going vegetarian for years, which didn't work. She threw all that away. She lost 135 pounds. Can you imagine being a farmer, 135 pounds overweight? Woof. And she recently didn't get fired by her doctor, but said, you know what, if you're going to keep this up. Now she's lost 135 pounds. And she's off how many medications, Judy Tucker? 12? He said, if you're going to keep this up, then I'm not going to see you anymore. You can just see my PA because you're wasting my time. Idiot. Talk about an idiot. Teresa Winthrop, 55. Can you soak your feet in Epsom salt? You can, not a question. You can. Yes, Epsom salt is an excellent, it's magnesium. And our skin is our largest organ. I have reveled in taking warm baths in Epsom salt. Very relaxing. I light some candles and I just relax. And the it's a very gentle way to get the magnesium into your body. Diane Short, will hormonal issues keep you from losing on keto, particularly thyroid? Thyroid, now, Jackie Eberstein she knows everything. And she'll be at the Go Keto with Casey Road show. We've got people coming from Florida, New York, Georgia, possibly Michigan, possibly Minnesota, North Carolina, of course. But anyway, so I'm just saying, and I'm just excited about this. This is when you get to sit across the table, the picnic table, and there'll be a cookout. My husband is going to be manning. He'll be the grill master. From Jackie Eberstein and say, can you talk to me about thyroid? Amy Berger will be there. She has her own experience with thyroid, and a book has written is will be published here in a bit on thyroid. So it can be tricky, but it doesn't stop you. There are people who have hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, no thyroid, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and do it. You just have to find what works for you. And I know that thyroid medications can be notoriously difficult to nail down. Do you drink your coffee black or add anything to it? Oh, my coffee's famous. My husband was making Dalgona coffee before it was a thing. No, coffee, Splenda, heavy cream. He whips it, this instant coffee. We own a coffee farm in Colombia. He prefers Nescafe. Whips it until it's like coffee mousse and then slowly pours hot water into it. Oh, so great. Marquez Curry, do you have to eat salt to stop the leg cramps at night? Sodium is not the boogeyman. If you don't have sodium sensitive hypertension, you can go above the American Heart Association recommendations, which I think is 2.5 grams a day. Dr. Stephen Finney advises you can go up to 5 grams, 7 grams. And yes, the sodium helps regulate all of the other magnesium, potassium, calcium. Judy Tucker, I have hypothyroidism. Keto works. 135 pounds later. Wish I was closer. It sounds like a good time. I'm telling you, people are coming. We have a wonderful train station in Greensboro. It's historic. So if you're on the East Coast, it comes down like from New York down to Delaware, Washington, Richmond, Raleigh, and then there's a depot in Greensboro, and then it goes on to Charlotte. Started keto August 1st, 53 years young, best electrolyte source. Here's the thing. If you don't have symptoms, you don't need to worry about electrolytes. Eat the food. I don't do electrolytes. I take my magnesium and then I salt my food. Electrolytes are just a buzzword. They're a product. I don't treat for symptoms I don't have, but you do what you want to do. Best source for electrolytes? Sodium. It balances everything out. Astrid. Hey, Astrid. Casey, you always are so very inspiring. I fell off the train and gained back quite a lot of weight. Yes, carbs are the death of me. Pecans, macadamia, cheese. Remember, nuts are not on page 4. They're not. You know why? Because they're very easy to overeat. And they're carb dense and they're calorie dense. And they're easy to mindlessly eat. I used to eat, get the mixed nuts at Costco. For me, a serving of mixed nuts was the lid. Was the lid. I'd sit here and do my work in my former career. Eat them all. Other than the Brazil nuts. I didn't care for those. I'd put those back in there. And then I'd fill the lid up again. And cheese is limited. Vicky writes, doctors get angry because we don't need medication. Health is wealth for us. So I'm going to wrap up because I do have a group session getting ready. I appreciate you allowing me to be part of your day. Do check out the roadshow events. Give me feedback. And my husband caught like 3 typos. So let me know. I have a list of, there are like 100 hotels in Greensboro, but I listed 3. I can't vouch for any of them other than the O'Henry, which is very high end. But, there are ones very close to the venue, et cetera, et cetera. So check it out. And if you want a chance just to hang out with each other and me, who wouldn't want to hang out with me? And some other people, check it out. Thank you very much. I will see you next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Bye, guys.